The fourth teaser for Avengers Doomsday seems simple enough. Black Panther and King M'Baku introduce themselves to Ben Grimm, the Thing, in a big desert. But according to some evidence we uncovered, there's a lot about this scene they're not showing us. Seeing some of the MCU's heaviest hitters shake hands and join forces in the teaser is always a great moment for fans. And a lot of followers of the series will tell you it's something we haven't gotten nearly enough of lately.
King M'Baku of Wakanda.
Ben, Yancey Street, between Broome and Grand.
It's just cool. Still, after that Steve Rogers teaser had everyone saying Daddy's home, the Thor teaser made clear that Taika Waititi didn't write this thing, and the X-Men teaser gave Cyclops fans the greatest Christmas present ever, it's tempting to be disappointed that the fourth of these teasers was just two groups of post-Endgame characters shaking hands. They're cool and all, but that's it? But what if that wasn't it? What if this scene is only a small part of a much bigger moment in the final movie? We're not just guessing here. We've heard info from sources who would know, indicating that this meeting is a lot more important than it looks.
I've lost everyone that matters to me.
We can't show you everything we've seen, but we can show you this. We know that the Avengers Doomsday desert scenes were filmed in Bahrain, an island nation on the Persian Gulf. That's no big secret, they haven't been trying to hide that. Some photos from around the time the scenes were shot, late spring and early summer of 2025, have also given us an idea of which members of the sprawling cast were out there on location. One photo in particular shows Doomsday co-creator Joe Russo and a whole bunch of cast members having a grand old time enjoying their off hours. They're actually attending an event at a fancy Italian restaurant in Bahrain. There's Winston Duke, who plays M'Baku, and Letitia Wright, who plays Shuri, standing on opposite sides of the group. They're the ones we saw in the trailer. Notice who else is there. On the far left, that's Danny Ramirez. He plays Joaquin Torres, Falcon. Duke's next to him, then those next two guys are producer types. Then there's Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, a Bahraini government official who's presumably not in the movie, but hey, we're willing to be surprised. To the right of Joe Russo is Anthony Mackie, who of course plays Sam Wilson, one of the two different guys we call Captain America. Next to Mackie is actor Alex Livanali. You may not recognize him immediately in a civilian garb, but he played the Talokan warrior Atuma in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. The woman in the blue dress is Hannah John Kamen, who plays Ghost. Last time we saw her, she was a member of the New Avengers. Then there's Simu Liu, who plays Shang-Chi, right next to her. To his right is Maybelle Cadena, who played Namora in Wakanda Forever. Then that's Letitia Wright next to her. And finally, Tenoch Huerta, who plays Namor. Nice, right? Well, what does this mean?
That's classified.
Over the course of Doomsday's production, there have been more than a few leaks from the set. Endgame era, this is not. And images we've seen, a few of which you might have seen yourself on Reddit or other places, feel a lot more significant now that we've seen actual footage from the movie. We're not going to repost any of them here. Hope you understand. One image that got posted to Reddit over the summer shows Danny Ramirez in his Falcon costume standing on what looks to be the set of a ship. Based on its retro-futurist design, it looks a lot more like the ship the Fantastic Four came to Earth 616 in than the Wakandan ship that appears in the teaser. We of course seemingly saw the Fantastic Four ship approaching Earth at the end of Thunderbolts. Evan Moss Backrack, who plays the Thing, was also there in the leaked image in a motion capture suit. Standing not far from him behind the ship's console was US Agent, played by Wyatt Russell. He's wearing essentially his costume from Thunderbolts, the version that includes a jaunty beret. While this is clearly a shot of a scene filmed on a set and not in a desert, it does tell us these characters meet up on a ship at some point. And because the Thing is there, it stands to reason that it's probably the ship the Fantastic Four rode in on. Another image we've gotten our hands on from a source is much more suggestive. It shows Namor, Falcon, and Sue Storm, all standing in the desert location from the teaser. None of them were in the teaser, but we can tell you they're there. And they're seemingly talking to someone off screen who might be a little imposing. More on who that might be in a minute. So what does this all mean? We have to make a few assumptions to get here, but based on this evidence, and various sources who say they have insider info, Ben Grimm meeting Shuri and M'Baku is just one of multiple first encounters that will be happening in this desert locale. Let's talk about when the Fantastic Four ship appeared at the end of Thunderbolts. Who sees him coming?
Extra-dimensional ship entering atmosphere.
The New Avengers were the ones we saw get a look at it, but they're surely not the only ones on Earth who got a warning about an unidentified ship entering the planet's airspace. It's pretty reasonable to think all the characters we've observed and what we've seen so far, the Wakandans, the Talokan, the New Avengers, Sam Wilson's team, and Shang-Chi, all converge on the same place, possibly a landing site to see what's up with this ship from another dimension. Maybe they've come together, maybe they've come separately, but they're there. We've either seen them on set or we've seen them behind the scenes. So this meeting of the Wakandans and the Fantastic Four, it's barely half of the story. Because all these characters might not just be meeting the Fantastic Four there either. We don't have photographic proof of it as of the making of this video, but if the rest of this is true, then it seems really likely that in this scene, our Earthbound heroes are also meeting Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom.
New mask, same task.
A rumor has been making the rounds lately, amplified by the prominent leaker My Time to Shine Hello, that Doom joins the Fantastic Four on their mission across universes to Earth 616. So if these characters are meeting the Fantastic Four when they land, they could also be meeting Dr. Doom. It's been floated for a while that Dr. Doom is not going to start this story as a mustache-twirling villain, but rather a sort of protagonist, trying to keep the multiverse from collapsing with the help of the heroes we know. After all, we do know Sue meets Doom right at the end of her movie. The music's scary, but hey, Franklin doesn't seem scared. Whether or not that's true, there's a quote from an interview with Simu Liu that suggests he was present for an important scene with Robert Downey Jr., maybe an introductory scene. Speaking to Collider in an interview published back in December 2025, Liu discussed his first time meeting RDJ, saying, "I had never actually met him, and it's very fitting. I was like, oh, I'm actually very glad that this is the first time that we're meeting, because otherwise it would have felt very anticlimactic if I had met him at, like, the Golden Globes, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'll see you at work." This was a very momentous meeting where we met, and then we were like, we're about to work together. That's fantastic. What could be more fitting than meeting RDJ in real life at the same time that his character is meeting Dr. Doom? Now, we're not trying to say that this is an absolute certain done deal that an early scene of Avengers Doomsday is going to be the new Avengers, Sam's Avengers, Shang-Chi, the Wakandans, and the Talokan all meeting the Fantastic Four and Dr. Doom in the desert. We're just saying that the evidence really suggests that's the case. Marvel has been known to outright lie in its marketing for its big tentpole releases. The moment where the Hulk appeared in an Infinity War trailer despite not actually being in the movie because Bruce Banner couldn't get him to come out will live on in online trivia infamy forever.
Come out! Come out! Come out!
This time around, though, the trickery is a little more sly, it seems. They definitely seem to want to have fans believe that Shuri and M'Baku are meeting Ben, and probably the rest of the Fantastic Four, along with just a handful of Wakandan guards. The teaser goes out of its way to show brief clips of Namor and Namora very distinctly not there. Namora is shown in front of some other Talokan soldiers, and Namor is shown on his throne as Shuri speaks in voiceover about the responsibilities of a king.
The king has his duties. I have mine.
But we now know that both Namor and Namora are either already there or show up fairly soon. It's sneaky. Really makes you wonder what else we're not seeing in the other teasers. Is Wolverine standing just off to the side by Professor X and Magneto? Is Loki there with Thor while he prays? Unfortunately, we don't have the answers to those questions. Yet. But it seems apparent that the somewhat intimate feeling that these teasers have had, focusing on just a few characters at a time, is just a little bit misleading.